If you're an artist, chances are that you're releasing your music on Spotify. Well, as their whole ecosystem continues to evolve, some changes intended for listeners can and will inevitably change the way you have to approach your own metadata. If you don't know about Release Radar, it's a so-called personalized algorithmic playlist which is updated every Friday. It includes new releases from artists that you've been listening to, but also allows you to discover new artists based on your existing listener profile. Previously, if you pitched your song to Spotify at least 7 days before your actual release date, via, say, Spotify for Artists as an example, your followers would get your song pushed into their Release Radar playlist. But as of recently, this behavior has changed quite a bit. If you check out your Spotify app on your phone or even the desktop app, you'll see that they now added a few controls to the top of your list. These controls are again personalized to your taste profile, with Discover New Artists and Editor's Picks being the two fixtures. Whatever your followers select here can have a big impact on whether they will see or miss your new release. So, what does that mean for you as an artist? Well, there are actually two things to consider here. If someone does not make any changes to their controls, things continue to work as before. But if someone makes changes to their controls, Release Radar will limit the tracks displayed based on their selection. Well, I guess it is, Spotify's way of trying to give their listeners even more of the same in an attempt to keep them hooked for even longer. Now, imagine that you're an artist that tags your songs as singer-songwriter, and all your followers switch to the genre control hip-hop. This means that even though they're a follower, they will not see your new release on Release Radar anymore. Conversely, if you're a hip-hop artist and you don't add the correct genre to your song during distribution, well, you will miss out on your song being pushed to your followers. So it's all about the metadata. Well, it's not a big surprise here, as this is one of the biggest buzzwords in the industry right now. And I guess for 90% of artists, it's relatively straightforward to have the correct genre set during distribution. But what about the other 10%? The problem arises if you release music across different genres. Take my song Nerds here as an example. I tag this song as being pop, which I feel most closely resembles the genre. False Prophets here is tagged as pop rock. You see where I'm going with that now? Imagine I release a singer-songwriter song in between, which could happen since I'm very much between genres. If you as a listener had one of the Release Radar controls set to pop, you might not even see all my new songs. Well, I understand it from a listener perspective, because maybe you really are not into singer-songwriter, but from an artist perspective, this makes things even more challenging than they already were. Now, I guess the benefit is that Spotify's algorithm might, or might not, be smart enough to correctly categorize your music. It will, pick up signals from playlists that have similar sounding artists, any ads that you might potentially run that resonate with your listeners' tastes, and so on and so forth. But it still means that the more precise and consistent you can be from now on when it comes to genres, the more chances you will get in terms of Release Radar. And that's a wrap for today. See you soon.